Hey there, WWE Universe. If you thought things were wild on Monday Night Raw before, you better strap in because the latest episode took everything to a whole new level. We're talking about total chaos, shocking twists, fierce confrontations, and a rising tension that's boiling over and threatening to explode in the coming weeks. WWE is entering a red-hot phase, and Raw has become the battleground where alliances are tested, enemies are made, and legacies are put on the line. Last night's episode left everyone talking, from fans in the arena to the superstars in the locker room. With emotions running high and grudges growing deeper, the WWE landscape is shifting in real time, and the fallout is already sending shockwaves throughout the entire roster. The night started with an already intense atmosphere, but it was a major backstage moment that stole the show and left the WWE Universe completely stunned. Bronson Reed, a dominant force in his own right, made a bold and possibly dangerous decision by choosing to stand alongside Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. That move instantly changed the power dynamic on Raw. Rollins, the charismatic visionary, and Breaker, the young and explosive powerhouse, have been locked in a chaotic feud with none other than Sami Zayn and CM Punk, a pair that brings their own unique brand of volatility and unpredictability to the table. By throwing his support behind Rollins and Breaker, Reed stepped directly into the crossfire of a war that's rapidly spiraling out of control. But making alliances in WWE is never without consequence. It didn't take long for Reed's choice to attract attention from the most feared faction in all of WWE history, the Bloodline. And when the Bloodline comes knocking, it's never just a warning. It's a declaration of war. The enforcer of the family, Sikoa, made his presence felt in a big way last night, and let's be clear, he didn't come in peace. Backstage, in one of the most intense face-offs we've seen in recent months, Solo confronted Bronson Reed directly. No theatrics, no distractions, just raw intimidation. The two locked eyes in a moment that felt like time stood still. Then came Solo's chilling statement. "You made your choice. Now I'm coming. And I'm not coming alone." That one sentence sent a powerful message that rippled across the entire WWE universe. The tension in that hallway was thick enough to cut with a knife. Solo didn't need to shout, didn't need backup, and didn't need to lift a finger, because everyone knew exactly what he meant. When the Bloodline feels betrayed, they don't talk about it, they act. And their brand of revenge is swift, brutal, and relentless. Solo's message wasn't just aimed at Reed. It was a signal to the entire locker room. Aligning with Rollins and Breaker may have felt like a smart move, but in doing so, Reed just painted a target on his back. The Bloodline doesn't forget, and more importantly, they don't forgive. So, where does this leave Bronson Reed? Is he prepared to go to war with a group that has taken down some of WWE's biggest names? Can he withstand the full force of Solo Sikoa and the dangerous legacy he carries? Is Reed ready to defend his new alliance, even if it means going toe-to-toe with the most dominant faction in WWE history? These are questions only time will answer, but the clock is ticking, and Solo Sikoa doesn't make empty threats. He comes with purpose, and if he says he's not coming alone, that can only mean that the full fury of the Bloodline is on its way. The stakes have never been higher. Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, who've already got their hands full dealing with Zayn and CM Punk, now have another problem on their hands, protecting their newest ally from a potential Bloodline ambush. It's not just about who you're fighting anymore, it's about who you can trust and who's willing to stand beside you when things go south. Reed made his choice, and now the consequences are starting to unfold. Make no mistake, WWE is entering a new era of warfare. One where loyalty is rare, betrayal is inevitable, and retribution is brutal. Monday Night Raw is no longer just a weekly show, it's a battlefield, and every superstar is either fighting for survival or dominance. With the intensity escalating and no end in sight, the coming weeks promise to bring even more chaos, more confrontations, and maybe even more unexpected alliances and betrayals. So if you're not already following along, now's the time to jump in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to turn on your notifications so you never miss an update, a twist, or a surprise return. The lines have been drawn, the threats have been made, and war is on the horizon. The WWE Universe is about to witness something massive. The conflict is growing, the danger is real, and this war? It's just getting started. Hey WWE Universe, buckle up because we're diving into everything that went down during the latest electrifying episode of Monday Night Raw, and trust me, it was one for the books. The energy was off the charts, the rivalries more intense than ever, and the surprises just kept coming. If you thought things were wild before, you haven't seen anything yet. Monday Night Raw continues to deliver week after week, and last night's episode turned the temperature way up, leaving fans stunned and superstars shaken. From shocking alliances to fierce confrontations, there was no shortage of drama, and it's safe to say that we are headed into one of the most explosive chapters in recent WWE history. One of the biggest stories coming out of last night's Raw was a jaw-dropping backstage showdown that's had the entire WWE locker room buzzing. Bronson Reed, who recently aligned himself with none other than Seth freaking Rollins and the powerhouse Braun Breaker, took a bold step into the chaos that has erupted between their faction and the unpredictable pairing of Sami Zayn and CM Punk. By joining forces with Rollins and Breaker, Reed effectively picked a side in what's quickly becoming an all-out war for dominance, respect, and retribution. But every decision has consequences, and Reed's choice didn't go unnoticed by the ones who take betrayal personally, the Bloodline. Enter Solo Sikoa. Known for his stone-cold intensity and unwavering loyalty to the Bloodline, Solo made a surprise appearance backstage that immediately shifted the atmosphere. With an ice-cold stare and a menacing presence, Solo confronted Bronson Reed face-to-face in a moment that could only be described as spine-tingling. Without raising his voice, Solo delivered a message that hit like a freight train. You made your choice. Now I'm coming, and I'm not coming alone. It was a clear and terrifying statement. Reed's alliance with Rollins and Breaker has marked him as a target, and the Bloodline isn't just going to let that slide. The implications of this confrontation are massive. The Bloodline has a reputation for dealing with defiance and betrayal through sheer force and calculated vengeance. They don't forgive, they don't forget, and when they strike, it's devastating. Reed may have stood his ground during that intense moment, but you could feel the tension pulsing through the air. The message wasn't just for Reed, it was a warning to anyone who dares challenge the might of the Bloodline. Now the questions begin to swirl. Is Bronson Reed truly prepared to face the full fury of Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline? Does he understand the war he's just walked into? And what about his allies, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker? Are they ready to have his back when the inevitable are?